everyone, it's Kelly Donahue-Piro here. Another tip on how to reduce remarketing while increasing your retention. And this one is going to throw you guys for a doozy because I'm going to say something that I almost never say. This is probably one of the only times I'll say it. There is one time in insurance that I think you should not be proactive. And it's the number one thing that is killing service teams if your agency practices a strategy. That is proactively remarketing an account because it hit a certain trigger and then calling the customer and saying, I have a new rate for you. I could spend probably like a filibuster amount of time talking about all the reasons why this isn't good. But this is the only time you should not be proactive. Now, you can replace that reshop with a conversation and pick up, I don't even know, so much time. Because when you are taking this list and just shopping them, a ton of people aren't going to ever call you back, number one. Number two, you're making it all about price. They could have their house on the market. Now you're doing double work, which doesn't make sense. And we're doing it out of fear. We're not doing it out of a plan. We're doing it out of fear that someone is going to be upset about rate. And so we want to problem solve and dive into a solution instead of have a conversation. And, the reality is we're not protecting people when we do this because we don't make up the changes. We don't confirm everything. We literally just go through, throw it through and make it all about price. And we don't have the opportunity to grab other lines because we don't have the information. So I really want everyone to really stop this practice. Sometimes we find that along these same lines, producers will say, oh, just reshop it, just reshop it. I think it's got to meet some qualifications because I've seen many, many times producers want everything reshopped because they're not doing the work, which is fine. But then they come back and they don't actually present anything to the client, or it just goes into a pile of waste. And we don't have the luxury to be wasteful in insurance. We need to come at rate from a place of empowerment and from a plan. And that plan is to have a conversation. And that's why I've created our newest course, which you're going to hear about in a couple seconds. But it's our newest course on how to reduce remarketing, but really hold high retention. And so it's a whole course on how to have the conversation about rate and give you super great tips on how to position rate and stop that remarket, but really help the client and deepen those relationships along the same way. Let me kind of break down for you, a reshop in personal lines takes roughly an hour, let's say. Between the conversations and everything else, it could take a little longer, it could take a little less, but just say an average of an hour. When we work with agencies, we often find that their closing ratio, we talked about this in yesterday's video, so make sure to check that out if you haven't watched that one, that, an average agency has about a 30%, let's just say, closing ratio on reshops when we first get started. So that means that if you do 10 reshops, 7 hours of time never ever led to a greater opportunity. And it's just by checking and seeing. If we remarket by having a conversation, we reduce that quantity by a significant amount and increase the actual hit ratio. So your time is so much more valuable. So check out that video, it breaks it down a little bit more eloquently than I just did. But please stop the proactive remarket and replace it with a conversation. And I guarantee you're going to see so much of a better outcome. Check out the video so you can get the course. We're doing a special till February 2nd. We'll see you guys in our next video.
Hey, did you hear the good news? Our latest agency performance pack is ready. And this is a standalone course that you can get for your agency. And it's all about how to have the icky conversation about rates and insurance. We see so many people so fearful about talking to clients about rate, and we want to empower you with the best strategies of how to handle rate. This includes reducing remarketing and how to have those conversations without losing a client. But all too often, our own fear gets in the way and it stops us from really doing a great job about talking about rate and insurance. And so we want to stop that for insurance agencies. If you're seeing over remarketing, if you're seeing a hesitation on rate, if you're seeing clients go elsewhere because we don't have a great plan for it, this is the course for you. And the good news is for the next 2 weeks, well, I should say until February 1st, we're doing 30% off. So you get the course, which is all online. You can take it as you want. There's quizzes, there's workbook, there's role-playing videos, there's scripts. There's everything that you need to help have those conversations a little easier. And you own it forever. You can also go ahead and do something different. We also have our agency performance pack, which is all of our online training as a subscription. So you get sales, retention, time management, how to turn every inbound call into opportunity, this rate handling course, and we add a new course in every quarter. So your team is constantly trained. So it's a system for you to hold yourself accountable to training and your team. So we hope that you check it out. Can't wait to see you and welcome you as a new student, or for our existing students, you might want to buy this course, or next step, if you haven't, think about the agency performance pack, which has all of this in here. If you believe in training your team, remember, it's your biggest investment. Your biggest investment is your team. Let's get this done so that 2021 is the year that you empower your team with a plan and the best tools. We will see you as new students in the course.